Ninja New Legends has once again done another update. This time they added 5 new SS partners, and a lot of them are kind of weird. Like, we got Tsunade's swimsuit, we got Pervy Sage, him in a swimsuit, we got finally SS Kakashi, and we got KCM Minato. With even if they even added Kushina as an SS. I don't know why Kushina is SS of all people, but yeah, those are people added. We will be going over all of them, and I'll be giving my opinion on what I think is really good and what isn't. But before that, I have never really done this. I think I've done it on one video, but I have been testing a lot with YouTube, and now I'm curious with this. If you guys can you leave a like? I want to see how much that changes, how much likes I get. Usually on average, I get around 30 likes for every like 400 views. Usually it ends off on 30 likes. So I kind of want to see how much likes I get if I ask for it. So if you guys can leave a like, it takes like a second. Like, every YouTuber says, if you guys can subscribe too, that'd be cool. But that one I'm not really testing right now. But of course it would be cool if you guys did sub. Also at 12 p.m. today, I'll be uploading another video, which will be the Sage Jiraiya gameplay and guide video, where I talk and go over basically everything about Sage Jiraiya. I talk about how strong his abilities are and where I see him as in like strength when it comes to SS partners. So without further ado, let's just get started with the video. First, we have the Pervy Sage, which is Yang and Attack. His normal ability performs a joint attack with Toads, dealing 495% damage and crippling the enemy. Target's HP recovery is also lowered by 50% and damage taken is increased by 40% for 3 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. Then his ultimate, he summons a Mount Sage to deal 1040% damage for 12 seconds. While this skill is active, all allies are cleansed every 4 seconds. The final water sphere's explosion will freeze enemies for 2 seconds with a 55-second cooldown. Now his ultimate seems pretty good. He basically makes it so your allies don't get CC'd, they don't get controlled. He does good damage and he will freeze them. So that already seems pretty good. Now his star stat is when below 50% HP, he deals 200% extra damage to frozen enemies. When he's below 20% HP, he deals an extra 500% to the enemies. Then he also cleanses all allies for 30 seconds, granting their next attack with a 25% chance to freeze the target for 1 second. So he really seems like a control. I don't know why he's attack. He seems more of a guy who's really good at keeping the person down, keeping them frozen, and then when they do get frozen, he deals even more damage. Now this character, I really don't know why they put her under SS. I kind of expected her to be S partner, but I mean, I guess she's SS. So she's Kushina Uzumaki, she is Yin, and she's Control. Her normal ability is she goes on a rampage and throws the pan at the target, dealing 630% damage for every 4 hits. The enemy is stunned for 1 second. The cooldown is 10 seconds. Then her ultimate, she goes on a rampage performing the Uzumaki secret jutsu that deals 1332% damage. Then the target is snared and silenced for 3 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. Her ultimate seems like a really good one because she can cancel bosses' ultimates. So when you see a boss charging up with that giant red circle, you can use her ult and it'll cancel their ult. I always like those abilities, they help you a lot in the PvE. Then her star stat is upon going on a rampage, she horrifies anyone within 8 meters for 1 second, heals all allies when the rampage effect expires, increasing healing done for all allies for 20% and reduces healing done by enemies for 20%. So she seems like a support while being control. She honestly doesn't seem that bad. Like I said so many times, I don't know why she's SS, but I mean her abilities do actually look pretty good. She snares them, she silences them, her star set literally horrifies them like pain, so she makes them all like walk away. So that's pretty cool that she has that. I don't know why she has that of all people, but kudos to Kushina. Next we have Tsunade's swimming suit. I did not expect to make an SS Tsunade. I thought they were going to add costumes to partners for a while, but it turns out that they added her. And she's not even support, she's control. I don't know why they did that, but I mean they did that. Her normal ability throws a powerful punch that deals 958% damage, and the target is knocked back and stunned for 2 seconds with a 15-second cooldown. Then her ultimate, she summons a slug to surf forward, dealing 1096% damage to enemies in the path and knocking them back. The speed of the target's hit are slowed by 80% for 2 seconds with a 45-second cooldown. So this kind of seems like a really weird ability, but I could kind of see how it would be useful. Say that, like, a bunch of people jump on one of your like ranged people who are squishy, so you can just use ult and knock them away from that. That kind of seems useful, to be honest. If someone like on your team is like dying and you really want them to get away, you can use this, and I feel like that could be very like effective. Now her star stat is she leaves a water pool upon casting a skill. That enemies that stay in the water pool for 3 seconds will become frozen for 1 second. Every 25 seconds, the next normal attack freezes the target for 1 second. So Tsunade seems like she'll do really good with Pervy Sage, since he does extra damage to frozen people. So I feel like those would be a very good wombo combo. So if you're going to go for Tsunade swimming pool, you should probably go for Pervy Sage. Although I don't know why she doesn't heal. That seems like the weirdest thing about Tsunade, the new one. She doesn't heal at all. Kushino heals, not her. It's very weird, and I don't know why they did that. But next we have Minato Nine Tails mode. Now he is attack, and his normal ability is the Flying Thunder God movement. He blinks forward to an enemy, dealing 525% damage. While performing this move, he increases the damage dealt by 20% and dodges any incoming attack for 8 seconds. Then his ultimate, he pushes the Rasengan forward together with Naruto, dealing 1,810% damage and causing the target to be stunned for 3 seconds with a 50-second cooldown. So far, out of all the ones that we looked at, this does the most damage. So this is telling me that he's very good damage-wise. And then we have a star stat, which takes 20% increased damage one hit. There's a 6% chance to dodge all incoming damage for 2 seconds, and it can be triggered once every 12 seconds. The caster deals 100% increased damage to enemies affected by crowd control. So you can use this with basically Itachi. That'll be really good. That since he ults and stuns them, then he does more damage. The new Minato really seems like a really good damage dealer. I guess that's why he's attack. And he has a lot of dodge, which is pretty good. Oh, and I forgot to say this, but for some reason they made Minato KCM Yin. That is very weird and a really dumb choice, to be honest. Then finally we have Kakashi, the SS Kakashi. His normal ability pulls the enemy closer and charge with Susanoo, dealing 402% damage and paralyzes the target for 1 second, and their cooldown is 12 seconds. His ultimate, he performs an attack that combines Lightning, Cutter, and the Susanoo, dealing 940% damage, and enemy units struck by 3 lightning attacks of the Susanoo are paralyzed for 2 seconds with a 50-second cooldown. Now they keep saying Susanoo, so I think that they gave him a Susanoo. So that alone makes him seem pretty solid. He seems like he will be a very like top competitor to get. And then his star stat is his attacks perform while in Susanoo status has a 10% chance to paralyze the target for 2 seconds. When taking damage, there's a 10% chance to paralyze the target for 2 seconds. Meanwhile, the caster deals 50% extra damage to targets that are paralyzed and last for 5 seconds. Internal cooldown is 12 seconds. So that's a 12-second cooldown. So basically when he gets attacked, he has a chance of paralyzing them, which is a lot like KCM. When you attack KCM, you have a chance to be stunned. So right now, out of all of these people, honestly, KCM Naruto seems like the best. He has so much damage and attack. He really seems like a heavy competitor. Then I would probably say Pervy Sage. He seems pretty good. And I don't know really what to rank. I have not seen them, so it's really hard to rank how good they're going to be. But honestly, KCM Minato seems like the strongest, but they did make him Yin for some reason. That's really weird, but I mean, it's whatever. They do so much dumb things in this game. I'm not surprised at all anymore. So now we're just going to talk about all the things that they've added and fixed. First, this seems really cool. So the adventure token, they re-added that and added even more. where you can get even more scrolls, which seems really good. They made it basically 3 times the amount that you would normally get, which is very, very good. If you bought this pass, you're about to get a lot of scrolls. They also fixed Jugo, but they claim that they never took him out of the game. He just had a very like a problem showing himself. Like it was a display glitch. Sometimes it wasn't in the partner shop and sometimes it was. But he is fixed now and he is now in the shop. Not shop, he's now in the partner collection. And I did just test out the Tail Beast glitch, and it turns out that they have finally patched the Tail Beast glitch. You can no longer only have your hero out and just outlast the timer and get a 3-star. You now actually fail and then you have to redo it. So if you didn't do the Tail Beast glitch, you're a little bit screwed. You're not going to be able to get all the way to the end like you were always able to. They finally patched. It's been out for like 3 to 4 months now. It kind of took them a very long time. So yeah, that's very sad that they got rid of it, but it was basically only a matter of time. So hey, that was the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you stayed all the way to the end, then thanks, and that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good day, and goodbye.